All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the YouTube channel. Whether you're watching on Reddit M's Wrestling YouTube channel or the Narcolepsy Boy 94 YouTube channel, you'll see both videos on both platforms. So today we're gonna do another all-time fantasy booking card. We did a WWE and AEW Forbidden Door one about a month ago. Today we're gonna do an all-time WrestleMania fantasy booking card. 8 matches for each night. Some of your favorite superstars, just a fair warning, might not make the cut. Doesn't mean that we hate them. Doesn't mean that we don't like them. There's only this limited room that we're going to fit, and we're just going to try to make the best matchups we can possibly think of and make. So 8 matches for each night. We didn't want to overdo it with the matches, and since WrestleMania is 2 nights, we figured that we could fit 8 matches for both sides. So please, if you're watching on the Narcolepsy Boy 94 YouTube channel or haven't been on the channel before, make sure to come over here, subscribe, like, share, comment below, turn on all notifications to be updated with all wrestling content right here on this platform, and to be updated when we go live every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern time zone for the No Name Wrestling podcast that Mo is also a part of. So please be on the lookout for that. And Mo will now introduce himself and plug in all his stuff.
Yes, sir. Y'all can follow me at Rated M Wrestling on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and you can follow me on Twitter at Mo_Magus. And my personal IG at Mo.Magus. And bro, I am looking forward to doing this WrestleMania card, man. We're gonna try our very best to give y'all the best possible card. So if there's anything we missed that y'all think should have been on this card, let us know in the comments down below. If there's anything y'all enjoyed about our card, let us know as well. And yeah, man, let's get into this. Let's do this. So for our pre-show match, we're actually gonna do a gimmick battle royal. Shout out to WrestleMania X7. For my 5 people, because we're gonna do 10 different people. For my 5 people, we got the Battle Royal King himself, Omos. We got Jillian Hall.
Yes, sir. Greatest of all time. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Cook. Jillian Hall, R-Truth, Santino Marella, and a gimmick from the past of Max Moon.
Max Moon is insane. All right, so my matchups are going to be a little bit different. I'm going to throw in a mixture of different stuff. I actually put a celebrity on here, and I actually got a real top star main event guy that I'm going to put on here just for shits and giggles as well. So my 5 superstars that I'm going to put in this gimmick battle royal: Doink the Clown is going to be in here. Chelsea Green, I'm putting in here. With her gimmick, she would fit extremely well in this battle royal. Dean Ambrose, I'm putting in here. Throwing in one member of the Shield, putting him in the gimmick battle royal. The last 2 people are going to be crazy. I'm putting in Karma, aka Awesome Kong. And the last person I'm going to put in here, Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh.
He going to have to match up with Omos, bro. Somebody got to match up with Omos, bro.
Hey man, look, it's meant to be funny. It's not meant to be taken serious. Look, all right.
Some people are gonna take it serious. You best believe that.
How dare you throw my guy John Moxley in there? Get over it, all right?
All right, so we're going to dive into night 1. We have the women's Money in the Bank, and yes, we know Money in the Bank has its own PLE now, but we're going to bring back Money in the Bank to WrestleMania because that's what we want to do for this card, and we always felt Money in the Bank just really hit different at WrestleMania, So we're going to do women's Money in the Bank to start off for night 1 for WrestleMania. I'm going to pick 4 superstars. He's going to pick 4 superstars. We're going to do 8 total. So the people that I'm going to put in here, and we'll see what you can cook up after this. I'm going to throw in Bianca Belair. I feel like she would fit extremely well. I'm going. Let me think. I'm also gonna throw in AJ Lee. I feel like she would bring a different aspect with character work, something that we haven't seen her do out of her element, being a ladder match. So I'm gonna put AJ Lee in there. I'm also going to throw in. Ooh, we got many options here. I'm going to throw in Tiffany Stratton. Her athleticism is really well. She obviously is the current Miss Money in the Bank, and I think she would thrive very well to be a part of this matchup. Those are 3 women that I'm going to put in there. And my last one, to switch it up and for something different, I'm going to throw in Charlotte Flair.
So the 4 people I'm going to add to this match, I'm going to throw in Sasha Banks, a.k.a. Mercedes Moné. I think she'd be great in this ladder match element. Asuka, and I'm going to throw in Nia Jax as well. Because I want to. We haven't seen her in a Money in the Bank excluding 2020, but I want to see how she would add a different kind of element to this.
Yeah,
The
adds
power game, you know what
powerhouse
I'm
to
saying?
it. Yeah,
Yep,
powerhouse.
exactly.
Respect it,
And
respect it.
I'm gonna do what you did. I'm gonna take a trick from you. Add somebody from the past era who didn't really get this kind of opportunity. I'm gonna put Michelle McCool in this match as well. I think she's one of the most underrated women of all time. She didn't really, obviously she was in an era where women's wrestling wasn't exactly valued. So there's that.
That's a unique matchup right there. It's different styles, different elements, different eras as well. And people watching, you guys can decide who would win and who would have the money in the bank. So we'll let you decide that. But I like the element and the route we go so far. So I'm feeling that one.
Yes, sir. That was a good start. That was a good start. All right, for a singles match, I'm gonna throw out the name Mr. WrestleMania himself, Shawn Michaels.
Okay. Shawn Michaels is valid. Obviously, got to be a part of WrestleMania. He's Mr. WrestleMania himself. I'm going to pair up Shawn Michaels with the guy that he actually has never wrestled, and a guy that he was going to, I believe, face at WrestleMania. I believe it was going to happen at one point, but didn't happen, unfortunately. I'm going to throw in Eddie Guerrero, Latino Heat.
Yeah, this for me is my personal wrestling dream match. That one of my biggest personal wrestling dream matches that we'll never get, unfortunately. And we were gonna get it, like you said, at WrestleMania 22, but Eddie had unfortunately passed away. But these are two guys that could work any style of wrestling that you needed, technical, high flying, all of it. They could do it all, and they would have put on magic together, and I think that would fit perfectly on a dream WrestleMania card.
Yeah, can you imagine the freaking chemistry between Eddie Guerrero and Shawn Michaels at a WrestleMania, bro? Like, they were supposed to wrestle at WrestleMania 22, from what I heard, and that could have been better than Kurt vs. Shawn at WrestleMania.
It really could have. It really could have.
Yeah, that could have been great. So definitely got to throw that match on there. I'm gonna throw that one on there. So we're gonna do another singles match. We already got Shawn Michaels booked on here. We got Eddie Guerrero. We got the Women's Money in the Bank booked on here as well. So I'm gonna throw out another singles superstar. I'm gonna put in Randy Orton. Who you got for Randy Orton?
You know what? I'm gonna do it. For Randy Orton, I'm gonna give him another third generation superstar, somebody who has wrestling in their blood. I'm gonna give him The Rock. I think that's a dream match right there. And it could have happened, but they never did it.
Randy Orton versus The Rock. All right. Third generation superstars. You are correct about that. Viper versus the People's Champ. Okay. I'm not mad at that. Who plays the heel though? That's the question. We get People's Shamrock. Got Final Boss. Got Hollywood Rock. Randy, obviously Viper, Apex Predator.
Here's the thing. Either way, we're eating.
Yeah.
But I feel like Rock would play best as the babyface in this situation.
Yeah, he's a better babyface than Randy Orton for sure, 100%.
To be fair, yeah. So
yeah. So
that's a good one.
All right. Randy Orton versus The Rock. I was not expecting that. But okay, I'm cool with that. Next matchup we're gonna do is a Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental Championship match. I'm gonna pick two people. He's gonna pick two people. So one of the people I'm gonna pick, I definitely got to put Gunther in here. I think he's the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. So I'm putting Gunther in this match. And I'm also going to throw in the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Interesting. Okay. I think like when you think of the IC title, you think of like the workhorse champion, and AJ Styles is a workhorse wrestler, so that definitely fits there.
He's not one of the best Intercontinental Champions of all time, but when it comes to in-ring quality, I mean, he could have a 5-star match with the broomstick. So, put him in here for match quality, just a lot of different things. He brings different style as well. So, I like AJ Styles.
All right, so for my two, I threw in who I think is the best IC champion of the 80s. I threw in Macho Man Randy Savage. And I also threw in, before Gunther, who was the best IC champion of the modern era, I threw in The Miz. I think The Miz deserves to be on this card as well and represent the IC title.
Hey, valid. I like that. I like that matchup right there. AJ Styles, The Miz, Macho Man Randy Savage, and Gunther. I pay to see that match. That's a match. Unfortunately, we only can create in the WWE 2K video game, but it's definitely a matchup that I would definitely have been very interested in right there. That'd have been a very, very good matchup.
Okay, for our next singles match, I'm going to throw out the name Seth Rollins. I want to see who you got for Seth Rollins.
There's a lot of people that Seth Rollins has not wrestled that you could put him against for sure. But you know what? I feel like he would have a sensational 10-star match with this guy. Not even a 5-star match. We ain't doing the Dave Meltzer ratings. This guy would have a 10-star match right here with this guy. Seth Rollins has a different style than this guy, and I'm matching him up because of that, because they bring different styles, and I think they would be able to tell great stories And when it comes to the in-ring quality, it would be top tier. It's going to be Seth Rollins versus Kurt Angle.
Sheesh.
That right there. Come on now. Come on
Wow.
now.
Okay. I didn't even think. Wow. Okay. I was genuinely thinking. I'm like, who is he gonna throw out for Seth Rollins? And I think that's like a perfect mix right there. Because
Seth Rollins and Kurt Angle would feed generations. That's something you
it
tell your
really
grandkids
would.
about.
It really would. Seth Rollins is another one of those Shawn Michaels type of guys that can work any style, and Kurt Angle can bend to work any style as well. As good as a technical wrestler as he is, like if you go, for example, watch his match with Rey Mysterio at SummerSlam 02, that man worked marvelously with a guy like Rey Mysterio. So I can only imagine what he does with Seth.
Yeah, so I like that matchup. Kurt Angle versus Seth Rollins, man. God, technical submission wrestler versus, a guy who could bring the high flying scenarios. And Kurt Angle can get up there too, man. He can do the moonsaults, and he can do a little bit of high flying. He ain't gonna do no springboards or anything, but he got some little high flying, moves to his moveset too, man. So I'm really rocking with that. Kurt Angle versus Seth Rollins might be the best matchup we've done so far.
That is, that's great. I didn't even think about that. That's a dream match I didn't know I wanted.
So next, we got to book another women's match for the women's championship. That's only appropriate. So for the women that I'm going to choose, I'm going to put one of my all-time favorites. Actually, my all-time favorite women's wrestler. I got to put Bayley on here.
For Bayley, I'm gonna throw out a legend for her. I'm gonna throw out Trish Stratus. I'm gonna give her Trish. Number one, I think Trish should be on this card because she is one of the biggest pioneers of this women's division, and her and Bayley, I think, could tear the house down. To be honest,
matchup we haven't had. We've had Trish come back and face Becky. She's faced Charlotte. She's done some other stuff too, Royal Rumbles, but we never had that one. I like that.
So the next match on our card, the second to last match of night one, we have a mixed tag team match. For the mixed tag, I'm gonna throw out what is, I think, my favorite couple in WWE history. I'm gonna throw out Edge and Lita.
So you put out Edge and Lita. I kind of want to match the same energy as far as putting couples together. And now they're both heel couples, so it's going to be an interesting dynamic when it comes to a storyline. But I guess the story could be like, who's the better overall powerhouse couple. So I'm going to match them up with Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. The McMahon-Helmsley era versus Edge and Lita. There aren't too many dominant great couples that you could think of all time. I would have matched them up with Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch because they could have played the babyface couple, but we already put Seth Rollins in a matchup. So Triple H and Stephanie McMahon versus Edge and Lita. Honestly, I think that could work. Edge and Lita have history too. I think Lita did beat Stephanie for the women's title. Triple H and Edge have had their interactions here and there, so I think this could really work. And if they really wanted to, Triple H has been a babyface before. They could potentially put Stephanie in the babyface role if they kind of wanted to do so. It would be really hard to do so because I feel like she's such a natural heel, though.
She is, but if we've taken 2005 to 2006 Lita, I think if you put her against anybody, they're getting cheered. So I think you're safe there. You could probably get away with Triple H and Steph being baby faces, or if you want, you can try a new dynamic with Edge and Lita and have them be baby faces. Either way could work.
So our main event for night one is going to be for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, a lot of great superstars you can pick. There's a lot of legendary superstars that are World Championship material, but I feel like it's only appropriate for one of these nights. Of course, you got to have different superstars and mix it up with different superstars. You know what? For this particular matchup, I'm going to give this guy his flowers and give him the main event spot that he should have got years ago, but still has never got. And hopefully he'll be able to get it someday. That's CM Punk.
Ooh, CM Punk. Okay. See, there's a lot of guys we can throw in here. Obviously Seth's already in the match. He would have been a good option. There's that story. Drew McIntyre is also a good option. Okay, so there is a dream match for CM Punk that we never got, and this guy 1000% belongs on a dream WrestleMania card. Take yourselves back to when WWE 13 was coming out. CM Punk versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I knew you was going there. So you said WWE 13. Yes, sir, man. That sit-down interview they had, with Jim Ross. Yeah, I remember that, man.
And the fact that they were only trying to sell a video game and there was that much energy and that much tension. It was
Can
great.
you imagine Punk versus Austin, the popularity of those two? I genuinely don't think the fans would boo CM Punk over Stone Cold. I think it would be even. CM Punk is so beloved. You got to think, because CM Punk is so beloved. He had two of the greatest returns ever in two different companies. Like people cried when he came back, bro. Like legit, like we're in tears. Like the promos,
Oh, the promos would be amazing. And imagine like this is Austin before the neck injury. Like let's say we take that Austin and then Punk, prime Punk, like money. All right, so for night one, we have to open the show. We have a women's Money in the Bank ladder match that has Bianca Belair, AJ Lee, Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Asuka, Nia Jax, and Michelle McCool. And for our second match on the card, we have a dream match of Eddie Guerrero versus Shawn Michaels. And after that, we got Randy Orton versus The Rock in a battle of two third-generation superstars. Then we have an IC title fatal four-way, which includes Gunther, Randy Savage, The Miz, and AJ Styles. And then for our next match, we have Seth Rollins versus Kurt Angle. Then for our women's title match, we have Bayley versus Trish Stratus. And then for a mixed tag, we have Edge and Lita going up against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. And in our World Heavyweight Championship match, we have CM Punk versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh my gosh, man, that card is sexy. I ain't gonna lie.
Like I would pay money for. I'd pay the $50 for this.
I'm paying $100 for that. Oh my gosh, and that's only night one.
We just getting started, guys. We literally are just getting started. Night two, we can only imagine where night two is going, man. All right, to start night two, just like we did with night one, we're gonna do a men's Money in the Bank, and my four guys for the men's Money in the Bank are Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy, Christian Cage, and Razor Ramon, because he is the pioneer of the ladder match in the WWE and at WrestleMania 10, so it's only fitting.
For the people that I'm going to put on here, I'm going to throw in Batista, somebody who brings different aspect of power. I'm going to put Chris Jericho in here. He did help start the Money in the Bank narrative. I'm going to throw in Cody Rhodes. I'm going to put him in there. Star power, somebody else who can bring a different element. And this one, I feel like with Money in the Bank, it's always better when you put a superstar in there that people hate and legitimately don't want to win. Like that one guy that's in there that you don't want to win. That always puts that fear in you.
I know exactly who you're about to put in here, bro.
I'm putting Logan Paul in here.
Yes, sir. Okay, look. Hey, a lot of people hate him. He's not one of my favorites, but dude, guy can go.
And he did really well in the Money in the Bank that he was in the last year, but he's an extremely athletic superstar. He likes to take risk and jump off things, so he brings another element to that, surprise factor and, extreme element. But Logan Paul is that one guy that's going to be in this match that you just like, please, anybody but him.
He's probably, that spot with Jeff Hardy and Edge in WrestleMania 23's Money in the Bank. Basically that spot with Jeff, that Logan Paul's going to replace Edge.
I like this Money in the Bank, honestly. I like the matches that we put. Different elements, different styles, heels, baby faces. I like that. Might be better than the women's.
Maybe. This is really stacked.
Next up, we're going to do men's tag team match. I gotta put who I believe is the greatest WWE tag team of all time. I'm putting the Usos on here for sure. So Jimmy and Jay, the Usos.
So I think another tag team that is in that conversation of being the greatest tag team of all time, I'm gonna throw out the Dudley Boys.
Okay, I think the Dudley Boys are the greatest tag team in wrestling history outside of WWE because they've done everything everywhere.
Yep.
The Usos have had a better WWE career. But the Dudleys, ECW champions, first ever TNA world champions, New Japan, WWE, Ring of Honor, everywhere they've been to, bro, they've been the tag team champions. They've succeeded and thrived everywhere. They are the best overall tag team to me. But I think the Usos have had the best WWE career as far as a tag team. But I like that matchup, though. I love that matchup. They actually had a match at WrestleMania on the pre-show of all things. Like, how do you put Dudleys and Usos on a pre-show? Yeah,
no. And this time is Prime Dudleys. We'll make sure in our little universe, it's the Prime Dudleys.
Even when they came back at that time, what was it, WrestleMania 32, 2016? That could have easily been on the main show. It's the Usos.
It was a tables match. It was a tables match.
Yeah, like how do you not put that on WrestleMania? Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
We'll take care of that this time.
All right, so for the singles match that we're going to do here, I'm going to throw out the Beast Brock Lesnar.
Ooh. See, the obvious dream match would be him and Gunther, but Gunther's on night one in the Fatal 4-Way. We could do a celebrity, but I wouldn't do Cain Velasquez. I'm not that.
No.
This one, the fans might look at this crazy. And because we have the pen this time, Malik and I have the pen this time, this match will go significantly better than it went the last time this happened. I'm going to give Kofi his rematch. And I'm going to make this a competitive match. Yeah.
Wow.
Make this
Kofi
an actual competitive match. Just
okay.
That's a story different. Right there.
That's different. I mean, you got to get revenge for the community. You know what I'm saying? For the community. So I did not expect Kofi Kingston as an answer. Okay, that one definitely threw me by surprise. What's the reason for the Kofi match?
Kofi getting not his win back, but he gonna show he one of them. Yeah, this is basically the story I would have ran with after what happened. First of all, I wouldn't have had Kofi get squashed. I would have had him lose in a competitive match at Hell in a Cell. Have maybe Brock like brutalize him and then Kofi come back and then get his lick back. Get his lick back. You know what I mean? So yeah.
That's different. Okay, I respect it. That's something different. Something that people definitely wouldn't have thought of. So I like that.
So for our next singles match, I'm gonna throw out who I think is the second best technical wrestler of all time. And a lot of people get on my case for liking this guy, but I don't care. Bret the Hitman Hart.
Well, I'm gonna throw out another guy who's a very good technical wrestler who's not on here yet. I gotta put Daniel Bryan on here. So I'm gonna put Daniel Bryan versus Bret Hart. Maybe a submission match. We can make it a submission match. We can make it a regular match, but the aspect of Daniel Bryan versus Bret Hart would be a tremendous match right there. So I'm going to do that matchup.
Even for the guys that are Bret detractors, you can't deny that the man is money in the ring. And Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, whatever you want to call him, he's one of them. He's one of them. Those guys are personally on my Mount Rushmore of in-ring performers. And this match was.
Who's your Mount Rushmore of in-ring performers?
It would be Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, Bret Hart, Bryan Danielson.
Mine is Shawn Michaels, Eddie Guerrero, AJ Styles, Kurt Angle. All right. I like that. I like that matchup. I don't see how people can hit on that match. That would be a technical submission masterpiece right there.
Yep. For the people that love real graps, this is your match. You know what I'm saying? Iron Man match. It could be a 2 out of 3 falls. Like you said, the stipulations, like submission, they could be an amazing match.
So for the two people that I'm going to put in this U.S. title match, gonna be a different mix of different styles, different things. One of the people I'm gonna put in here is Sheamus. I'm gonna throw him in there. One of the most physical wrestlers you will ever see. And the other person I'm going to put in here, top tier heel, I'm going to put in Booker T, but not Booker T. I'm going to put in King Booker.
Love it. So my two guys, I'm going to put Bobby Lashley, who I think is one of the best U.S. champions in WWE history, even though, if we're being honest, not too much competition there. But also, I'm going to throw in Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre belongs on this card somewhere, and this is a perfect spot for him.
I like the element of those matchups, man. You got the powerhouse, Bobby Lashley. You got the two physical, Europeans and Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. Then you got top tier heel and King Booker. Whew, a lot of great things. Won't be the most flashiest, high style, high profile match when it comes to high flying and stuff, but this will be more of a physical aspect match, and I like that. I like that right there. I like that U.S. title fatal 4-way.
So for our women's world title match, I'm gonna throw out the name who I think is the best women's wrestler in WWE history, Becky Lynch.
I feel like it's only appropriate. How could I not put this person on here? We're gonna revisit a WrestleMania rematch. I gotta put Rhea Ripley on here. So we're gonna run it back. We're gonna do Becky versus Rhea, but let's put a stipulation onto it. Make it a little bit different than it was. Let's do let's do last woman standing.
Or that. I think that works even better. I think both those women could work in that element. Becky has shown that in her match with Charlotte. Rhea Ripley's one of the best powerhouses in that women's division. So, yeah, this could definitely work. This will be a great women's title match for sure.
Yeah, I like that. Last woman standing, Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley, and you all can decide who gets the victory there.
Shit, I'm biased, so I'm going Becky. So, for our streak match, I'm thinking of peak character work. And for the streak, I'm going to throw out the name, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt.
All right. That obviously makes a lot of sense. The Fiend is somebody that I think a lot of us wanted to have maybe beat the streak or go up against the streak. They obviously never crossed paths because, Undertaker was already old and past his prime, and the streak had already died at that time, you know what I mean? And wasn't around anymore. And Bray, obviously, passed away, unfortunately, and wasn't around when Undertaker had the streak at its peak level, So, all right. So, hear me out with this, all right? I know some people don't like this superstar, and it would be... I guess, an unpopular thing for people. But just hear me out with the matchup that I got, right? So you got The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker. Great character work. I think most of us really wanted them to cross paths because, you know, just of the character aspect, we wanted to know what the story would have been like. And obviously, Undertaker is, you know, a legend. Obviously, when The Fiend came around, he was old and past his prime, and the streak wasn't around anymore. And Bray Wyatt just wasn't around when Undertaker was at his peak, right? You know, in WWE. But just imagine this, and I'm gonna do this streak versus streak. It's gonna be streak versus streak right here. Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania versus the undefeated streak of Goldberg. Match quality probably wouldn't be as great as some people would expect it, but the build-up, the climax, and the story. I mean, Undertaker was like God at WrestleMania at one point. But Goldberg at his peak in WCW, bro, he was annihilating everybody, bro, in his path. So
when you think about it, if we're talking about WCW Goldberg, or even like once, like the very beginning when he came into WWE Goldberg against peak Undertaker, that's money. You're talking about two of the most popular wrestlers of all time, and the stakes is crazy, especially if, like you said, undefeated streak, Gold is still intact. Goldberg, man, you're printing money there. It's unpredictable.
yeah, it's very unpredictable. So that's gonna be my matchup right there. Obviously, we're not talking about the match that happened in Saudi Arabia. You know, the match.
Right, I was gonna say, like,
the
when you
match that
think
happened.
Undertaker Goldberg,
Yeah, the match that happened when they were both past their primes and stuff, but both at the peak of their careers, streak versus streak. Come on, man. That's dollar bills right there, if you ask me. That's dollar bills. And then the last matchup, of course, the big main event for the WWE Championship. I'm going to put the guy who is the most experienced WrestleMania main event of all time now, and the greatest world champion in WWE history, if you ask me. Got to put the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, man. Got to acknowledge it.
if we're talking Roman Reigns, like, him being in the main event is perfect because it's the most familiar, especially in recent times. But we've had this matchup twice now. The guy I'm going to throw out, we've had this matchup twice now. Both times, the guy was past his prime. I think if you take this guy in his peak and take Tribal Chief in his peak, we talked about money throughout this video. This right here is absolute money. I got John Cena going up against Roman Reigns, the main event, night 2 of our WrestleMania Dream Card.
Tribal Chief versus Super Cena, man. Can you imagine
Oh
that?
my God.
Can you imagine that? Oh my gosh. Like, that would be... That's an up in the air, unpredictable match as well, because Super Cena didn't lose too much, but Tribal Chief Roman has only been pinned 2 times. So, whew, that's tough. That's tough to call, man. That's tough to call.
Yeah, man. This is a good card, bro. And that main event to cap it off, look, be probably on our hands the greatest WrestleMania of all time. All right, so for our night 2 card, it goes like this. We open the show with the men's Money in the Bank, which has Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy, Christian, Razor Ramon, Chris Jericho, Logan Paul, Batista, and Cody Rhodes. And then our next match is a men's tag team match. We have the Usos going up against the Dudley Boys. And our next match is a grudge match with Brock Lesnar going up against Kofi Kingston. And then the next one, we have 2 technical masters. We have Bret Hart going up against Daniel Bryan. In our U.S. title fatal 4-way, we have Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and King Booker. For our women's title match, women's world title match, we have Becky Lynch going up against Rhea Ripley in a rematch. Last woman standing, let's make that clear. And in our streak match, we have 2 matches that we threw out that we'll let you guys choose. We have either The Undertaker versus Goldberg and The Undertaker versus The Fiend Bray Wyatt. So we'll let you guys let us know in the comments down below which one you would prefer. And for our main event of night 2, we have the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns going up against arguably the greatest of all time, John Cena.
If we left some people off that you felt should have been on here, let us know in the comment section below. If you liked it, let us know in the comment section below as well. You can also let us know the matchups that you really liked and people that you think will win the matchups. If you want to see more of these type of bookings and fantasy cards, give us some suggestions in the comments as well, man. We did a WWE and AEW one. We could do some different promotions as well. We can do another WrestleMania one, if you will. We can do a Royal Rumble, whatever you guys want to do. Just let us know in the comment section below. It's always been a pleasure. It's been fun. Really enjoyed this. I think this is the best one we've done so far. I definitely think it's better than our WWE and AEW one. I mean, Night 1 and night 2 is like this, man. I don't know which night's better, man. It's like
Both really stacked, and like Malik said, man, let us know in the comments down below. Let us know who you would pick if you had the pen, who you would pick to win each match, and yeah, let us know what fantasy bookings you'd want to see.
yeet.